WrestleMania 41 is in 8 nights. And does it feel like it? The answer is no. Smackdown was atrocious. It was a waste of 3 hours. Nothing happened on this show. Triple H has no idea what he's doing. He is a bad booker. He is a small bit better than Tony Khan. Not by much, though. But WrestleMania 41, this build, has been shaping up to be one of the worst WrestleMania builds in the modern era. And I'm saying within the last 5 years, not 10 years, but the last 5 years. This is Triple H's second WrestleMania. And it feels like most of these matches on night 1 and night 2 just belong on Raw and SmackDown. That's really what it feels like. Outside of John Cena and Cody Rhodes, that's the only WrestleMania worthy match. You could say the triple threat between Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and CM Punk. So outside of those 2 matches, everything else on that card could theoretically take place on a Raw or SmackDown. You could just supersize those shows and you would get the WrestleMania card. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Mania last year was through the roof. The hype was there. The feel was there. We got goosebumps. This year, the vast majority of us want WrestleMania 41 to be over. And I don't care if any of the matches are going to be good. You mean to tell me that we can't get 14 matches throughout 2 nights of nothing but story from top to bottom, where 7 matches, all 7 matches on night 1 is nothing but story, and the same for night 2, those 7 matches for night 2, nothing but story? That's what wrestling is. It's not about the moves and the matches and shit, man. This sucks. This absolutely sucks. And people are saying, oh, we're in a boom era, we're in a boom era. No, we're not. WrestleMania 41 is nowhere being sold out. They've sold for night 1 approximately 48,000 and something tickets. For night 2, it's a little over 50,000. I think it's like 51,000. That's not good. WrestleMania for both nights should be sold out. And I feel bad for the people who've saved up their hard-earned money to go see this slop in 8 nights. It's pathetic. They're literally charging an arm and a leg for this nonsense. It makes no sense. I don't know what else to say. Let's just go ahead and get into SmackDown. I'm not going to spend a whole bunch of time on it because it's just not worth it. It's not worth it. So we kicked the show off with Randy Orton and Nick Aldis. So Randy says that he paid his fine in full twice. The reason why he did what he did, because he doesn't have a WrestleMania match, a match at Mania. He says that if he doesn't get a match, he's going to hurt Nick Aldis. He's going to have to apologize to Mickie James after he does what he does. So Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga, they show up. Solo tells Randy Orton that no one wants to hear him cry It's over for Randy, and that's because He's in the past. And LA Knight next week is going to end up in the same boat as Randy Orton in the past. Then he puts over Jacob Fatu, saying that he's going to dethrone LA Knight at Mania. The LA Knight comes out. No. Solo and Tama Tonga, they attack Randy. And then LA Knight shows up to make the save. And then LA Knight and Randy Orton challenge Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga to a tag match. Who really cares? And Nick Aldis makes it official. I don't give a shit about this. Moving on. Next, this leads us into our first match of the night. Lyra Valkyria and Bayley, they win the gauntlet match. This went on for about 30-something minutes. Triple H is a retard. This should have ended in about 20 minutes at least. And even that would have been too long. This gauntlet should have really ended in about, I'd say, 15 minutes. So, it is what it is. Zoe Stark was in this match. Shayna Baszler was in the match. The Secret Herberts, they were in this match. Casey Square was in this match. Maxine Dupree and Natalya were in this match. It's not that important. Who really cares? And B-Fab and Michin, they were in the match as well. So, who really gives a shit? Lyra Valkyria and Bayley ended up winning. And it's going to be Bayley and Lyra at WrestleMania to take on Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez for the Women's World Tag Team Championships, or whatever they're called. Who really gives a shit? I feel bad for both Liv Morgan, mainly for Liv Morgan, because this time last year, Liv Morgan was on top of her game. She was very entertaining, having good matches, on top of the world, and now she's just relegated to doing tag team matches and stuff. But it is what it is. This is her cool-off period. Not that important. And we all knew that Bayley was going to be on the Mania card anyway. Like, that was a given. Moving on. Who gives a shit? So this leads us into Wade Barrett and Joe Tessitore. They're on commentary. They mentioned that there's a viral video that's going around on social media involving Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton. Joe Tessitore mentions that both of them will face disciplinary action. Joe mentions last week's segment involving Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest. And he announces that Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest is going to take place. It's going to be on the Mania card, but it's going to be a Sin City street fight. Who cares? This shit could take place on Smackdown. That's what this is. My God. Moving on. So let's lead this into Damian Priest. He gets attacked by Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre beats up Damian Priest. And then Drew gets on the mic and says that, he's been medically cleared and he's going to hurt Damian Priest. So then Priest shows back up, and then him and Drew, they brawl some more. Who cares? I really don't give a shit about this shit. This is a waste of time. Poor Drew McIntyre. He's had a horrible 2025. He's lost to Jey Uso. He's lost to Jimmy Uso. Oh, man. It's over for Drew McIntyre. There's nothing they can do for him at this point, really. There's nothing they can do for him at this point. And I like Drew. I'm a fan of Drew, but damn, bro. Wow. How the mighty have fallen. All right. Moving on. So this leads us into Rey Fenix defeating Humberto Carrillo in a pretty decent match. So, that's fine there. Rey wins via the Mexican Muscle Buster, which is cool. I do like that. Really good stuff. I forgot to mention there was a DIY segment along with the Motor City Machine Guns, and Pretty Deadly. So DIY, they're complaining that they got screwed last week. Pretty Deadly tell them that they're out of their minds since losing the titles. They've gone crazy. Pretty Deadly tell them that desperation is not a good look on DIY. And they tell them not to trust no one. Pretty Deadly walk away. And come the Motor City Machine Guns. Motor City Machine Guns tell DIY to keep thinking about last week, because next week on SmackDown, they get a chance at the tag team titles. They tell DIY that DIY screwed them before. This is karma. Oh my God, I don't care about this shit. Moving right along. So, post-match, I forgot to mention that Santos Escobar, he gets into the ring, he shakes Rey Fenix's hand, and Humberto Carrillo, he reluctantly does the same thing, and Santos Escobar speaks to Rey in Spanish, which is fine, so that makes sense. Moving on. So, Byron Saxton is backstage with Roxanne Perez. Roxanne says that she decided to speak with Nick Aldis, and as runner-up in the Women's Royal Rumble, she's ready to fight for the women's title at WrestleMania because Tiffany Stratton can't handle the pressure. So Tiffany Stratton shows up. She tells Roxanne Perez that she can't talk about her. Roxanne Perez, she hopes that, tells Tiffany she hopes her actions won't cost her the match at WrestleMania. Nick Aldis steps out of his office as both women continue to argue. And then Tiffany Stratton challenges Roxanne Perez to a match tonight, and Nick Aldis says he'll think about it. And he tells Tiffany to cool off, and then Tiffany walks away. So apparently Roxanne Perez, I guess, is finally on the main roster. Okay, we all saw that coming like a mile away. Makes sense, but doesn't matter? No. And Roxanne Perez didn't even need to compete, really. Roxanne Perez should have just went into Nick Aldis' office and asked for a contract. And he put her on SmackDown. And she's the newest member of the SmackDown roster. That's what I would have done. It is what it is. I don't give a shit. Then we get a history of CM Punk and Paul Heyman's friendship. It airs throughout the years. It's a video package. Who cares? Moving right along. So Chelsea Green's knocking on the door of the trainer's room, asking for Piper Niven and Alba Fire. So Zelina Vega shows up, who tells her she will see what kind of champion Chelsea Green is. Excuse me, who cares? Zelina Vega defeats Chelsea Green via count out. It was a botch spot towards the end. I wasn't paying attention at this match at all. Zelina Vega is not over. And then Chelsea, she was yelling at Wade Barrett and Joe Tessitore. So it is what it is. Who cares? It's not important. This is not important. I don't know what you do with Zelina Vega going forward. I would just have her be a valet for somebody. I really would. I don't know who that could be. I don't. I know people are going to immediately say Andrade, but no. I don't know. Moving on. So we go to the back, and Santos Escobar tells Humberto Carrillo and Angel Garza that what he saw out there was the kind of performance he wants to see from Legado del Fantasma. He tells Humberto Carrillo that he's disappointed in him. He tells Angel to go with him to find Rey Fenix, to congratulate him on a job well done. Alrighty. That makes sense. It seems like they are starting a feud with Legado del Fantasma and Rey Fenix. That should be cool. I'm pretty sure Andrade will get involved as well. So, it's Triple H. They're all Hispanic or Mexican. We got to put them all together. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, bro. That's not how things work, dog. So we go backstage again, and we see we see Andrade speaking with Humberto Carrillo. Andrade tells Humberto to keep his head up, but Humberto tells him to mind his own business. Okay, I liked it. I like it. It's interesting to see where that goes. Not really, though, but I don't know, man. I don't know. Moving on. This leads us into Naomi. She cut a really good promo. Naomi's telling Jade Cargill that she's a leech, scum, and an opportunist. So many words to describe Jade, but one word is snake. Naomi tells Jade that once she got her out of the way, she got her rightful place as champion. She and Bianca's friendship grew, but now Bianca wanted to speak to her, but she'll get hers. And at WrestleMania, she advises Jade Cargill to proceed with caution, and then she does an evil laugh. This is great. Good shit. So Jade Cargill, she has a backstage promo of her own. Jade tells Naomi that her time has run out. She's not just angry, she's pissed. Naomi came at her because she thought she knew what was best for her, but she didn't. Naomi took her out because of her own insecurities. She tells Naomi that the glow is fading, and Naomi's trying to stay relevant in any and every way. Jade tells her that she knows what this is all about. She knows that she's jealous, that she came in with so much aura and glow, and this WrestleMania, she's not a rookie anymore. She's her biggest threat because the storm is coming. Really good stuff. Good stuff here. This is one of the matches that I'm excited for. I think this takes place on night 2, if I'm not mistaken. I wasn't paying attention, so who cares? Moving on. Cody Rhodes shows up, and he literally says nothing. He just puts over the WWE Championship and the spinner belt. He mentions how he's going to be the one who's going to humble John Cena. He said that the fans are always going to have his back and everything else. It's not important. Cody didn't really say anything in this promo. Cody calls himself the captain, but he says he's a part of a roster that has CM Punk, Rhea Ripley, Randy Orton, Sami Zayn, and Liv Morgan. Cody says he'll tell him the same thing that he told Brock and Roman. He does his best work when he's backed into a corner. When the bell rings and this is over, he'll leave Cena in the ring to have his moments. And then he said that it would be clever for him to tell John Cena that his time is up and Cody's time is now. But Cena has known for a while that his time has been up. But the WWE title is timeless, and it will stay home, and it stays with them. Who cares? I really don't give a shit about this. Ugh. We've got one more show to go. And thankfully, John Cena will be on the go-home show for Smackdown. Thankfully. I wish that he would have been on Raw, too. But it seems like they're splitting both main events because all the stuff that's going to happen between CM Punk and Roman and Seth Rollins, that's going to happen on Monday Night Raw. And then the John Cena and Cody Rhodes portion is going to happen on SmackDown. That does make sense, though. So, yeah. Moving on. Byron Saxton, he's backstage with the Street Profits. He tells them, they tell him that they like the Motor City Machine Guns, but they don't have the tag titles. Dawkins says they run this division. So, in comes Mello, don't Miz. So, Miz and Carmelo Hayes, they show up. They tell him that the Street Profits are running the division down. Miz tells him that the fact that those titles aren't on the WrestleMania card is a slap in the face for previous champions. He's a 9-time tag team champion, and he wants to be a 10-time tag team champion with Carmelo Hayes. And then both teams come face to face, and Carmelo Hayes tells them they want the smoke. Good stuff. I really do like this. Excellent stuff. Miz is 100% right. Then moving on, Tiffany Stratton defeats Roxanne Perez. Yay. So Roxanne Perez has lost to Jordynne Grace a couple weeks ago. I think she did a job to Kalani Jordan not too long ago, about 3 weeks ago. So, yeah. And now she's doing a job to Tiffany Stratton, which makes sense, but it is what it is, so who cares? This is the Triple H era. Charlotte Flair shows up, and then she beats up Tiffany Stratton, but Wade Barrett shows up, and he gets into Charlotte Flair's face, and he tells her that he tells Charlotte that she's gonna get herself fired. So who really cares? I don't care about this. Main event of the evening. Randy Orton and LA Knight, they defeat Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga, and that was the show. LA Knight gets the win via the BFT. So, who cares? It's not that important. It seems like Randy Orton's going to be facing Solo Sikoa. It seems like, because the two of them, they brawled and went away towards the end of the match. So it's not really that important. Fatu showed up and destroyed LA Knight, and that was Smackdown. Lame, boring, a waste of 3 hours. Oh, and we also got another Aleister Black vignette as well. So, yeah. So he'll probably show up in 2 weeks. So he'll be on the Smackdown after Mania, which actually does make sense. Although, you never know. Because I know people want to do Randy and Aleister, but Randy's not going to do a job to Aleister. He's not. And I don't blame him either. I'm a fan of Aleister. I hope when Triple H brings him in, I hope that he has massive plans for Black. I'm hoping that he's the one who ends up winning the U.S. Championship. He holds it for like a year, and then from there, you move him up to the main event scene. I think LA Knight's going to lose at Mania, so you end up trying to start building him up to go after John Cena, maybe. I think that would be cool. So, because I would just do LA Knight and John Cena at, like, Backlash or whatever. Because I'm hoping that they do, like, an angle with Cody Rhodes to where we don't see Cody Rhodes for a while after he loses at Mania. So, there's that. But SmackDown was boring as per usual. I'm not excited for WrestleMania. I'm just not. I'm tired of it. I'm tired. But what did you guys think of SmackDown? Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.